Hello, my lovelies. Today we're going to be kinesiologists. So we're going to practice working in how our body moves. We're going to be practicing those action terms. And I'd love it if you can join me. So just find yourself in a comfortable seated position at your desk or table, your bed or couch, or the floor like me. Any place where you can sit will be fine. And just to kind of practice position of our bodies, I have my vertebral column is extended, although my hip is flexed, and my hip is abducted. So I do have my thighs away from the midline. And then notice that my knee, I'm practicing flexion there. So remember, flexion is a reduction of angle, and extension is a widening of that angle. Okay. We can also practice, flexing more with the vertebral column. So if I were to bend over in a bow, that would be my flexion. I can flex at my neck by taking my chin towards my chest. If I put my head back in the upright position at my neck, I'm extended. I can practice a lateral flexion by taking my right ear to my right shoulder, left ear to my left shoulder. Okay, next thing to practice, let's look at rotation and how that differs. So when I took my right ear to my right shoulder, you can do that again with me if you'd like. That's a lateral flexion. If I bring my head back to center and then look over my right shoulder, that's going to be rotation. I can look over my left shoulder, balance out, that's a rotation. I can do rotation a little bit lower in my trunk, right? So I can position my whole torso so that I'm looking over my right knee, maybe even looking over my right shoulder. I can rotate again towards the left. So I'm looking over my left knee, maybe looking over my left shoulder. Bring myself back to center. Let's practice maybe a circumduction. So circumduction is when we make a circle. And we have a little buddy joining us. This is Brutus. Okay, so he likes to practice actions too. So I'm gonna now just make a circle with my body. So I have my hips grounded in the floor, and I'm doing a series of flexions, extensions, maybe abduction and adduction, just in doing this kind of circle around. And maybe I want to rotate in the other direction or do my circumduction in the other direction just to sort of balance that out. Okay, let's next practice the terms elevation and depression. We're going to use our shoulders. So let's elevate or lift our shoulders up to our ears and then maybe roll them down the back. So that would be the depression. So elevate towards the ears and then depress the shoulder blades down your back. You might do it in a rotational movement, right? So you're rolling your shoulders out. This might be feeling really good if you've been sitting at the computer for a long period of time. Maybe go the other direction, right? Just to work that out a little bit. Okay, let's practice abduction and adduction. So abduction is moving away from the midline. So we can take our right arm and we can abduct it up to the sky, away from the midline, and then adduct it, bring it back to the body. Maybe do that with the left arm, abduction, away from the midline, adduct it back towards the midline. Maybe one more time, that feels really good to me. Abduct, adduct, abduction, adduction. Now we can do a rotation at that shoulder with the whole arm. So let's make a whole big circle with the right arm. Now we're doing some of that superior and inferior rotation at the scapula. We're doing a combination of flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, rotation, maybe go the other direction. And then balance that out with your right arm, left arm. Okay. Let's bring our hands together at our front and maybe just rub your hands together. This is just for fun. Generate some heat. Put the palms of your hands on your knees. Look at your forearm. This is pronation. Then put your hands palm up on your knees. Look at your forearm. This is supination. We can practice opposition, reposition. So take your thumb to your pointer finger, to your middle finger, to your ring finger, to your pinky finger. This is opposition. Work your thumb back to your pointer, and then put your hand in your anatomical position. That's going to be reposition. Next, let's practice a couple of movements with our mandible. So we're going to do protraction, which is to jut your mandible out away from anatomical position and then retract it back in place. You can do excursion, which is taking your mandible side to side. That's very freeing. I clenched my jaw a lot, so that feels really nice. Okay, let's next do some movements with our legs. So if you're able to, get in a straight leg extension position. So you might want to extend your legs straight out if you're able. And let's start by actually really tensing up those gluteus maximus muscles, those butt muscles, and paying attention to our thigh. And what you may be able to feel when you tense up those butt muscles is an external rotation or a lateral rotation of the thigh. If instead you maybe put a fist in between your knees and then really press hard like you're holding that fist in place, you might feel then the medial or internal rotation of the thigh. Okay, I position my feet in the view so that we can practice some movements at our feet. So we're going to do our pointer, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. So when you plantar flex, you're pointing your toes, you're planting your toes, and dorsiflexion, you're bringing the bottoms of your feet or the dorsal part of your feet up. Okay, and then last we have inversion, eversion, inversion, eversion. And if I spread my toes, that's abduction, abduction, and if I bring them together, that's adduction. All right, thank you for practicing with me. As always, take care of yourselves.